Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, agenda item 4 of the second session of the Committee on Trade, Investment, Enterprise and Business Innovation will commence shortly. I request you to kindly take your seats.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, we shall now take up agenda item 4 on mobilizing foreign direct investment for sustainable development. The document pertaining to this agenda item is ESCAP/CTIEBI 2/5. We shall begin with an introduction on the document by the Secretariat, followed by the country statements. To introduce this agenda item, I would like to invite Ms. Heather Taylor, Stout, Economic Affairs Officer from the Innovations, Enterprise and Investment sections of the Trade, Investment and Innovations divisions of ESCAP, to introduce the first document, ESCAP/CTIEBI 2/5, Mobilizing Foreign Direct Investment for Sustainable Development. Over to you, Ms. Taylor.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the opportunity to present on Agenda Item 4 on mobilizing foreign direct investment for sustainable development. The presentation that I'll be giving will be summarizing the document before you and highlighting the targeted areas that the Secretariat has been providing to member states, particularly through their investment promotion agencies, or IPAs as I'll be referring to them, in advancing sustainable development through foreign direct investment. Prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, developing countries in Asia and the Pacific faced an annual investment gap of $1.5 trillion to achieve the SDGs. Since the pandemic, this gap has only increased. What hasn't changed is that FDI for the last 2 decades has been the largest and most stable source of finance and investment to developing countries in Asia and the Pacific, and also globally. FDI has annually outpaced flows of official development assistance, portfolio debt and equity flows, as well as remittances and other forms of finance. What does this mean? It means that there is a huge potential for FDI to be leveraged to contributing to achieving the SDGs. However, This can only happen if the inflows of FDI going into countries and the FDI projects that are established in countries are aligned with the SDGs. At the same time, it can only happen if the agencies that are out there and mandated to attract investors, bring them into their country, help them set up operations, and support them after they've set up operations, are out there proactively promoting, attracting, and facilitating investment that is aligned with the SDGs. Since the last 5 years, Asia Pacific has been the top global recipient of FDI inflows. It has averaged about 320 billion US dollars annually in inflows coming into the region. At the same time, outward FDI coming from the region is also flowing into the global economy. In fact, Asia Pacific is the largest source of outward foreign direct investment globally, and a lot of these flows are actually inter-regional flows. These facts just add on to what I've just said in terms of the potential of FDI. It underscores the huge opportunity that is there for FDI to contribute to sustainable development. Realizing the potential of FDI to contribute to sustainable development, it means that there actually has to be a shift from just generally facilitating any kind of FDI towards strategically promoting and targeting FDI that is going to be aligned with national SDG priorities as well as those globally. More importantly, investment promotion agencies are central to this shift. These agencies are the ones that are mandated on behalf of their governments to go out there and find investors and bring them into the country. They serve as that bridge between line agencies and investors. They are the first point of contact for an investor when they come into a country, and they are also that contact that continues to follow up with investors to keep those investors in a country. Recognizing this, the Secretariat has been providing targeted and tailored technical assistance and capacity building support to investment promotion agencies across our member states to help them better promote and attract FDI that contributes to advancing gender equality, enabling digital transformation, and accelerating climate action. Now, it has been proven, factually proven, that FDI contributes significantly to economic growth. However, FDI's full potential for sustainable development can and will only be realized if it is aligned with the social and environmental goals under the SDGs. Despite its potential, FDI continues to remain an underutilized channel for advancing gender equality. Women continue to face barriers in accessing capital, in accessing markets, in accessing leadership positions, and also in accessing quality employment opportunities in the FDI operations that are establishing in their countries. Recognizing these gaps, the Secretariat has made gender-responsive investment promotion and attraction a core area of the support that it is providing to investment promotion agencies. In 2024, the Secretariat launched the Gender Equity Pledge among investment promotion agencies, and this is an initiative that encourages investment promotion agencies to commit to mainstreaming gender considerations in both their external promotion and attraction work and internal operations. The Secretariat is pleased to share that since launching this pledge last year, 11 investment promotion agencies in 11 different UN member states have signed on to it and are actively implementing it with the support of the Secretariat. Foreign direct investment in the digital economy, spanning infrastructure, communications, semiconductors, software and IT services, it has been growing, and especially since the pandemic. In fact, most countries in Asia and the Pacific have enacted national digital economy plans and policies. Most of these plans and policies also include a role for finance. How can we finance our digital transformation? Unfortunately, what is missing from most of those policies and plans is the role of FDI in financing that digital transformation. As you can see from the numbers here and in the document before you, FDI actually plays a critical role and is growing in terms of financing digital transformation in most member states. To support member states in addressing this, ESCAP launched a guidebook on promoting and attracting digital FDI in 2023. And since then, it's been providing tailored technical assistance to help investment promotion agencies identify competitive niches aligned with their national priorities, where they have the most ability to attract FDI in digital sectors, to help them strengthen their digital facilitation services, and target investors in high potential digital sectors. These efforts are helping to better equip investment promotion agencies to align their digital investment promotion and attraction strategies with broader national digital development goals. Just as digital investment is shaping and reshaping the region's technological future, climate FDI is increasingly central to building resilient, low-carbon economies in the region. In fact, climate-related foreign direct investment now represents over 1/5 of all FDI that is coming into the region. It outpaces all of the FDI that is going into fossil fuels. Most of this foreign direct investment is actually going into climate mitigation projects, so in sectors like renewable energy, energy efficiency, and green manufacturing. What is lagging is investment in climate adaptation sectors. So here we're talking about projects in sectors like water management, resilient infrastructure, and climate-smart agriculture. To address this gap and help investment promotion agencies better target investment in climate adaptation sectors, but also maintain and grow investment in climate mitigation sectors, the Secretariat has been supporting investment promotion agencies in our member states to develop and implement targeted climate FDI attraction strategies. This includes helping those agencies identify high potential sectors that are aligned with their national climate priorities, profiling and packaging investable opportunities in green transition sectors, and identifying high potential investors that are not just well positioned, but also most likely to invest in those type of projects. With this context, the committee may wish to consider how national experiences, especially those of investment promotion agencies, can be more systematically shared. What types of technical assistance are most needed to strengthen investment promotion agency capacity in promoting and attracting sustainable FDI, and how regional cooperation and partnerships can be further leveraged to scale FDI. Thank you for your attention, and I'd like to pass the floor back to the chair.
Thank you, Ms. Taylor. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, we shall now proceed to country statements for agenda item 4. I would like to urge all speakers to adhere to the time limit of 3 minutes to ensure we can hear from all those participating. I also would like to remind delegates that in case of a longer statement, you may only deliver a summary version and provide the Secretariat with the full statement for sharing through the committee website. I will call for countries who have registered to speak after we go through the list of countries. Other delegates may request to speak by raising their country name plates and will be called upon to speak from their seat. Is this clear to all delegates? If so, now we open the floor for the country statement. The first speaker is China. China, you have the floor.
谢谢主席。吸引和利用外国直接投资是中国对外开放基本国策的重要组成部分。截至2024年3月，外商在华投资累计设立企业124万家，投资额近3万亿美元，在中国经济社会发展中发挥了重要作用。外资企业贡献了中国1/3的进出口，1/4的工业增加值，1/7的税收。 创造了3000多万个就业岗位，带来了先进技术和管理经验，促进中国深度参与全球产业分工，主动对接国际高标准经贸规则。外商来华投资也普遍得到丰厚回报，实现了互利共赢。当前，中国正坚定不移地推进高水平对外开放，不断放宽市场准入，继续支持外资企业投资中国、深耕中国。我们加强外商投资立法，积极营造市场化、法治化、国际化的一流营商环境。外资准入负面清单从最早的190项缩减到现在全国版的29项和自贸试验区版的27项。制造业领域准入限制措施已于2024年清零。服务业在增值电信、生物技术、外商独资医院方面有了进一步开放试点。我们出台稳外资系列政策，持续打造投资中国品牌，为各类市场主体在华经营创造稳定、公平、透明、可预期的发展环境。去年举行的中共20届三中全会对深化外商投资和对外投资管理体制改革制定了路线图和时间表。我们将进一步扩大开放，维护市场公平竞争，加强保障服务，打造外资企业投资兴业的沃土。近年来，亚太地区一直是外国直接投资的主要来源地和目的地。外国直接投资在助力各国实现可持续发展方面发挥重要作用。中方愿同各方加强协调合作，坚持经济全球化的大方向，持续提升贸易投资自由化便利化水平，共同维护全球产业链供应链的开放、稳定和安全，为促进投资跨国合作为促进跨境投资合作营造良好环境，为区域和全球落实2030年可持续发展议程作出贡献。谢谢主席。
Thank you. Now the next speaker is Philippines, followed by India.
Good morning, Madam Chair, and to our fellow delegates. The Philippines, through the Board of Investments, continues to advance a strategic investment agenda aimed at building a more sustainable, inclusive, and resilient economy. Our foreign investment promotion marketing plan, we are actively promoting high-value and sustainability-driven sectors that reflects the country's firm commitment to green transition, digital transformation, and inclusive innovation. To support this agenda, we have also implemented critical policy reforms to allow full foreign ownership in a lot of different sectors, particularly in renewable energy, public services, retail business, as well as to support industry development and institutionalize green lanes for strategic investments and further enhance ease of doing business. These policy shifts are transforming the Philippines into an increasingly attractive destination for sustainable and future-ready investments. In this context, the BOI welcomes and deeply values its collaboration with ESCAP, which has been supportive in strengthening our institutional capacity through key projects cooperation, aligned with our continuous efforts to proactively promote green investments. These projects include FDI attraction and investment targeting workshops, which we have started working with them since December last year, as well as the development and promotion of investment-ready projects, particularly 2 pilot projects in renewable energy. The BOI is likewise honored to represent the Philippines and contribute to the development and implementation of the ASEAN Investment Promotion Action Plan, or REPAP. As presented in yesterday's opening session, REPAP is designed to boost FDI in ASEAN across 5 priority sectors from 2025 to 2030 and supports regional value chain development with strong focus on green transition and post-pandemic recovery. We commend ESCAP's role in shaping and implementing REPAP and in equipping ASEAN IPAs with the tools and strategies needed to attract more sustainable investments. As we move forward, we anticipate deepening our collaboration with ESCAP and scaling up the development of investment-ready, sustainability-aligned projects, enhancing investor targeting and ESG-based promotion strategies, strengthening our capacity to assess the development impact of FDI, including gender and environmental outcomes, and sustaining regional cooperation through REPAP implementation and other platforms that advance sustainable investment promotion. We also extend our full support to UNESCAP's initiatives that harness FDI for gender equality. The Philippines is proud to be among the first signatories to the IPA Gender Equity Pledge launched by ESCAP just last year. And we strongly encourage ESCAP to continue working with IPAs on this important agenda. Looking ahead, the Philippines reaffirms its commitment to actively participate in the ASEAN Investment Forum in Malaysia to be held this year, and we look forward to collaborating with ESCAP on the successful conduct of AIF in 2026 during the Philippines ASEAN Chairship. In closing, the Philippines thanks ESCAP for its enduring partnership and support, and we look forward to deepening this collaboration toward our shared goal of promoting sustainable investment and inclusive growth across Asia and the Pacific. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Philippine. The next speaker is India, followed by United Kingdom.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Excellencies, and distinguished delegates. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, sustainability is central to our development agenda, guided by the vision of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Prayas. FDI plays a key role in the transformation, bringing not only capital, but also technology transfer, job creation, and green innovation. India is increasingly focusing on sustainable development, recognizing that foreign direct investment can play a pivotal role in advancing green infrastructure and sustainable logistics. Strategic initiatives and policy reforms are being implemented to attract FDI in these sectors, aiming to enhance environmental sustainability, economic growth, and social inclusivity. Reinforcing India's commitment to boosting logistics sector, PM Gati Shakti emerges as one of the key flagship initiatives. It is transforming the country's infrastructure by improving connectivity, lowering logistic cost, and advancing green sustainable development, while deepening India's integration into global value chains. Complementing these efforts, India is advancing sustainable logistics through projects like Bharatmala Pariyojana, Sagarmala project, and the establishment of multi-modal logistic parks. These initiatives focus on improving road and port infrastructure, enhancing connectivity, and reducing logistic cost, thereby contributing to a more efficient and sustainable logistics network. India is fostering sustainable investment through strategic policy reforms and infrastructure initiatives. The Green Energy Corridor scheme facilitates the development of transmission infrastructure for renewable energy projects, attracting both domestic and foreign investment. Additionally, the government permits up to 100% FDI, the automatic route for renewable energy projects, thus simplifying the investment process. These efforts are creating a conducive environment for sustainable investment, aiming to achieve long-term economic and environmental goals. Thank you.
Thank you, India. Now, next speaker is United Kingdom, followed by Malaysia.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, Excellencies, distinguished delegates. The United Kingdom's commitment to advancing Agenda 2030 goes beyond development and recognises that true progress requires peace, trade, and investment. Multilateralism is key to building a modern, sustainable development approach that benefits everyone, and we cannot drive robust global growth without building strong partnerships in the Asia-Pacific region. Indeed, our shared prosperity will depend on it. With this in mind, the UK has developed meaningful and constructive partnerships with organisations such as the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. As an ASEAN dialogue partner, the UK is also strengthening collaborative efforts in addressing mutual challenges, such as our shared mission towards a just and equitable green transition in the region, and indeed the world. Foreign direct investment, or FDI, plays a critical role on this agenda. As one of the largest financial flows to developing countries, FDI is a key enabler for sustainable development, mobilizing capital, technology, and expertise into sectors that drive green growth, decent job creation, and long-term resilience. Aligning FDI with the UN Sustainable Development Goals is not just desirable, it is essential. Specifically, we are working with our partners at ESCAP, the ASEAN Secretariat, and member states to unlock green investment across Southeast Asia, made possible through UK ASEAN Green Transition Fund. Through this fund, the UK Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office is supporting the £2.1 million ASEAN Green Investment Catalyst Initiative, implemented by ESCAP to increase FDI into strategic green sectors that are crucial for ASEAN's transition to a low-carbon economy and aligned with ASEAN's first-ever Regional Investment Promotion Action Plan, or REPAP. We are proud of this collaborative initiative, which provides hands-on support to ASEAN member states and Timor-Leste in implementing REPAP and delivering tangible outcomes. The ASEAN Green Investment Catalyst, under ESCAP's leadership, facilitates the development of investment-ready projects in strategic green transition sectors, designs an AI-enabled investor project matching tool, delivers capacity building for ASEAN investment promotion agencies, and supports the organization of the ASEAN Investment Forum, scheduled for 2025 in Malaysia and 2026 in the Philippines, to showcase green investment-ready opportunities to corporate investors. This initiative exemplifies the transformative power of UK cooperation with the multilateral system to accelerate the region's journey towards net zero emissions while creating sustainable economic opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you, United Kingdom. And now I would like to invite Malaysia, followed by Uzbekistan. You have the floor, Malaysia.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Malaysia's investment landscape in 2024 marked a significant milestone, with the country attracting a record 378.5 ringgit Malaysia million in approved investments, representing a 14.9% increase in approved investments, representing a 14.9% increase compared to the previous years. This growth reflects the nation's strategic focus on high-value sectors, regional integration, and sustainable development. Our investments priorities are closely aligned with national investment aspirations, which form the basis for comprehensive reforms of Malaysia's investment policies and the framework to guide Malaysia's investments direction. The NIA targets increasing economic complexities, creating high-value job opportunities, extending domestic linkages, developing new and existing clusters, improving inclusivity, and enhancing ESG practices. These priorities drive the government's effort to attract investment not only for economic growth, but also creation of high-quality and sustainable employment. Malaysia continues to target high-value sectors such as digital economy, advanced manufacturing, green energy, and semiconductors in line with global trends and national development goals. MIDA is seeking technical assistance and capacity building support from ESCAP to enhance our trade and investment readiness through the MIDA transformation agenda, where we hope this initiative will facilitate knowledge transfer and exchange through visits to countries that have successfully implemented IPA transformation, such as Korea, Ireland, and Costa Rica. Secondly, investment promotion by engaging with global economic development organizations and international agencies to develop investment promotion strategies for technology-driven sectors, fostering high-quality investment and sustainable practices for Malaysia's SMEs. Collaboration with agencies such as COTRA and JETRO will create an enabling environment that strengthens and supports our SMEs. In addition, technical assistance such as site visit to leading global technology hubs such as Taiwan and Republic Korea to equip Malaysia with capabilities to attract high-quality investment in advanced and emerging industries. Malaysia expresses our sincere gratitude to ESCAP for the ongoing capacity building support provided to MIDA through the secretariat work with ASEAN and its coordinating committee on investment. ESCAP continued commitment to the regional and implementation of REPUB is deeply appreciated. We recognize and value ESCAP's long-standing partnership with ASEAN and its member states in co-organizing and host the ASEAN Investment Forum alongside the ASEAN Business and Investment Summit yearly. ESCAP's collaboration with Malaysia in planning and organizing this year's AIF commended as a pivotal initiative that enables member states to showcase their sustainable FDI opportunities. Malaysia encourages ESCAP to continue its invaluable support to member states and their investment promotion agencies by providing capacity building and technical assistance in investment promotion and attraction for sustainable development. Thank you.
Thank you, Malaysia. Now, the next speaker is Uzbekistan, followed by Indonesia.
Thank you, Chair. Uzbekistan is pleased to participate in this important session and expresses appreciation to ESCAP for its continued engagement with member states to advance investment promotion and sustainable development across the region. In recent years, Uzbekistan has embarked on a wide-ranging program of economic reforms aimed at improving the investment climate, diversifying the economy, and increasing our integration into regional and global value chains. And foreign direct investment is a critical component of this agenda. We began our transformation in 2017 when we made a historic decision to introduce full currency convertibility. This was a defining moment, eliminating a long-standing barrier for foreign investors and allowing companies to repatriate profits freely and operate transparently. That same year, we established the Business Ombudsman Institution, providing investors with a formal mechanism to protect their rights and resolve disputes, a fundamental step toward accountability and rule of law. In 2018, we halved custom duties, removed import tariffs on more than 4,000 product categories. Then, in 2019, in the history of Uzbekistan, we passed the law on investments and investment activities, codifying investor protections, fair treatment, and international standard dispute resolution. We are prioritizing investment in strategic sectors such as renewable energy, agro-processing, textiles, pharmaceuticals, ICT, and logistics. These sectors offer high potential for value addition, employment, and export growth, and are central to achieving Uzbekistan's development goals. To support this, we have simplified investment procedures, modernized our legal and regulatory frameworks, expanded support for industrial parks and economic zones. We have also established mechanisms to promote public-private partnerships and deepen investor aftercare. In 2019, we established the Foreign Investors Council under the President, providing a platform for real-time dialogue with global business leaders. So Uzbekistan recognizes the importance of regional cooperation in attracting sustainable and quality investment. We welcome the growing role of ESCAP in supporting investment promotion and attracting in the region, including through its work on technical assistance, capacity building, and regional strategies. Uzbekistan appreciates the support ESCAP has provided through regional dialogues and the development of knowledge products that help countries in the region design more attractive and inclusive investment promotion frameworks. So we express our interest in deepening cooperation with ESCAP to strengthen the capacity of our national investment promotion institutions. Areas of potential collaboration include developing investment promotion and attracting strategy, enhancing our ability to target and engage investors through improved data, digital tools, and outreach strategies, supporting participation in regional investment forums and platforms to showcase Uzbekistan's investment opportunities. We also support ESCAP's work to promote sustainable investment through regional cooperation frameworks. Uzbekistan is closely following such efforts and stands ready to explore opportunities to share experiences and promote coordination across sub-regional platforms, including special program for the economies of Central Asia, which plays an important role in facilitating cooperation among Central Asian economies. Uzbekistan encourages ESCAP to continue to support its member states and their investment promotion agencies by providing capacity building and technical assistance on investment promotion and attraction for sustainable development, including but not limited to also developing investable project opportunities for foreign direct investors, and also to continue to work on national and regional strategies for investment promotion and attraction for sustainable development, as well as enabling member states to showcase their sustainable investment promotion opportunities at national and regional investment forums. We look forward to working closely with ESCAP and our regional partners to advance a more resilient, inclusive, and sustainable investment landscape across the Asia and the Pacific. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Uzbekistan. Now I would like to invite Indonesia, followed by Lao PDR.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Distinguished delegates, allow me to deliver this statement on behalf of our Deputy Minister for Investment Cooperation, who is unable to attend this session in person. Indonesia commends ESCAP for convening this timely dialogue and for supporting its member states in promoting and attracting FDI for sustainable development. Indonesia's investment priorities are guided by the National Medium-Term Development Plan, with a strong focus on economic diversification, downstream industrialization, energy transition, and digital transformation. To realize these objectives, the government of Indonesia, through the Ministry of Investment and Downstream Industry (BKPM), has developed a range of strategies and measures, including fostering a more favorable investment environment through harmonizing and simplifying regulations, as well as improving legal certainty, enhancing the ease of doing business through the integrated online single submission system, fostering investment in sectors identified as key drivers of long-term economic growth, promoting investment into special economic zones and industrial estates to support regional development and strengthen value chains, expanding investor services including targeted facilitation, aftercare, and promotion of reinvestment by existing investors. FDI inflows remain strong in 2024, and Indonesia continues to prioritize the quality of investment, emphasizing job creation, skills transfer, and alignment with environmental and social goals. Indonesia welcomes cooperation with ESCAP to strengthen our investment promotion and attraction capacity, particularly in the following areas. First, support in developing a forward-looking investment promotion strategy that aligns with national priorities. Second, capacity building to enhance services that help facilitate investments. Third, technical assistance in designing approaches to attract sustainable investment and to enhance the ability to attract high-quality investment into the country's priority sectors. And support in strengthening the capacity to identify, structure, and promote viable projects to international investors. Indonesia appreciates ESCAP's ongoing support to developing the ASEAN Regional Investment Promotion Action Plan, or RIPAP. We also commend ESCAP's partnership with the ASEAN Secretariat and its member states to co-organize and host the ASEAN Investment Forum, one delivered in collaboration with BKPM in Jakarta back in 2023. And we are looking forward to this year's ASEAN Investment Forum in Malaysia. Indonesia thus reaffirms its appreciation for ESCAP's contributions to advancing sustainable investment in partnership with all ASEAN member states. Let us work together to ensure that investment becomes a powerful enabler of sustainable development and shared prosperity. Thank you.
Thank you, Indonesia. Now, the next speaker is Lao PDR, followed by Japan.
Thank you, Madam Chair and distinguished delegates. The Lao PDR value ESCAP's support in advancing investment promotion for sustainable development. FDI is crucial to Lao PDR national strategies, driving job creation, export growth, economic diversifications, and transition toward the resilient and inclusive economy. We prioritize investment in key sectors like renewable energy, green infrastructure and logistics, ecotourism, sustainable agriculture, the green manufacturing, big data, and artificial intelligence, all vital to achieve the Sustainable Development Goal under the 5-year Social and Economic Development Plan of Lao PDR. As the 2024 ASEAN Chair, Lao PDR proudly hosts the ASEAN Investment Forum AIF in Vientiane capital, co-organized with the ESCAP, the ASEAN Secretariat, ASEAN Business Advisory Council, and the ASEAN Coordinating Committee on Investment, or the CCI. This forum was a vital platform for the ASEAN member states to present investment opportunity to regional and international investors, and highlighting the regional collaboration in sustainable development. Lao PDR also partnered with the ESCAP and the Australian government on the new project, Lao-Australian Investment Facilitation and Transformation for Economic Resilience, or in short, is LIFT for Laos. This support Lao Investment Promotion Department in developing the investment ready project, strengthening the promotion strategies, and enhancing our integration into the ASEAN investment frameworks. This initiative complements to our national implementation of the ASEAN Regional Investment Promotion Action Plan, or RIPAP, and aim to generate investor interest through the target outreach, like the upcoming Lao-Australian Investment Dialogue. Lao PDR acknowledged the intense global competition for investment, especially in the challenge of economic climate. As the least developed country, attracting sustainable and high-quality investment is both an urgent need and significant challenge. For a small developing economy, continued support from partners such as ESCAP for investment promotion and attraction is essential. This support helps us to build the institutional foundations and practical tools needed to promote and attract investment that deliver a long-term development impact. To conclude, Lao thanks ESCAP for its ongoing capacity building support through its work with ASEAN, especially in developing and implementing the RIPAP. We also appreciate ESCAP partnership with ASEAN Secretariat and member state in co-organizing and hosting the AIF, the annual AIF, alongside with the ASEAN Business and Investment Summit. We look forward to participate in the AIF hosted in Malaysia this year, 2025. Lao PDR encourage ESCAP to continue support member state and their investment promotion agency with capacity building and technical assistance, including developing investable project opportunity for FDI, and fostering the national and regional strategy for the sustainable investment promotion and attraction. Thank you.
Thank you, Lao PDR. The next speaker is Japan, followed by Timor-Leste. You have the floor, Japan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Foreign direct investment plays a crucial role in fostering growth and development, particularly in countries with limited domestic capital, as our country has shown in this region over the past decades. Strategic investments can indeed enhance infrastructure, stimulate economies, and create new opportunities, as stated in the conference document. However, it's equally important to approach FDI with a balanced perspective, one that accounts for potential national economic security considerations alongside its benefits. Investments in critical infrastructure, while offering significant advantages, should be carried out in a manner that aligns with the recipient country's long-term development goals and security needs. A thoughtful recipient and context-driven approach ensures that such investments lead to true resilience. In this regard, the OECD's work on more, better, and safe FDI offers valuable insights that could further enrich our discussions. We encourage the Secretary to explore these perspectives to mitigate potential unintended consequences and ensure sustainable outcomes. Additionally, fostering a landscape where private investment remains confident in the integrity and reliability of critical infrastructure is vital. Ensuring infrastructure investments are well-governed, transparent, and self-managed while locally sustainable helps maintain investor confidence. If such projects lead to excessive liabilities, they may deter private investment from a wider array of sources. A balanced approach safeguards economic autonomy and supports long-term stability.
By taking these considerations into account, we can ensure FDI continues to be a force for positive development while safeguarding economic security and autonomy of states. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Now, the next speaker is Timor-Leste, followed by Thailand.
Thank you, Chair. We thank ESCAP for the ongoing support extended to Timor-Leste and commend alignment on strategic priorities, the role of FDI as driver of economic diversification and development, the sectors that form part of our ongoing engagement and their importance for national development, as well as the importance of regional collaboration in investment promotion and attraction. Timor-Leste is currently driving a large economic diversification initiative in a range of sectors. FDI is to be an important driver of these efforts, and Timor-Leste aims to become increasingly attractive to investors. To this end, Timor-Leste has implemented an effective policy to attract FDIs, including, among others, fiscal incentives that can result in tax exemption up to 100% for certain sectors and with certain conditions. Yet, our partnership with ESCAP and the capacity building it offers, both now and in the future, substantially aids our effort to promote and attract investment. The Strategic Development Plan 2011 to 2030 sets out Timor-Leste's ambitions to integrate its economy into the regional and global community and reaffirms our country's energy transition commitments. Thus, the sectoral focus areas of our collaboration with ESCAP are core aligned with our national development objectives and priorities. Timor-Leste applied for ASEAN membership in 2011 and for WTO membership in 2016. The government has taken these processes seriously and has worked diligently to achieve accession. In fact, on February 26, 2024, Timor-Leste formally joined the WTO as a full member during the 30th Ministerial Conference held in Abu Dhabi. Timor-Leste's strategic integration into regional and global value chains will be further made possible by our full ASEAN membership. Hence, ESCAP's leadership in regional initiative, particularly the ESCAP ASEAN Regional Investment Promotion Action Plan, represents a practical and tangible step toward enhancing our country's participation in these value chains. Therefore, in line with the drive for economic diversification and sustainable development, with FDI as a key catalyst against the backdrop of increasing economic integration, especially with the economies of ASEAN, ESCAP's support on tailored FDI initiative in the regional and ASEAN context is of utmost priority for the development goals of our country. Timor-Leste thanks ESCAP for the ongoing capacity building support that have been provided to Timor-Leste through their work with ASEAN. And we also thank ESCAP for initiating the ASEAN Investment Forum as a regional investment forum to allow Timor-Leste, along with ASEAN member states, to showcase their investment potential and sustainable development. Timor-Leste further appreciates ESCAP's ongoing support to developing and implementing the ASEAN Regional Investment Promotion Action Plan and including Timor-Leste as an active member of this action plan. In this respect, we encourage ESCAP to continue to support its member state on providing capacity building and technical assistance on investment promotion and attraction for sustainable development, including but not limited to also developing investable project opportunities for foreign direct investors, and also to continue to work on regional strategies for investment promotion and attraction for sustainable development, as well as enabling member states to showcase their sustainable investment opportunities at national and regional investment forums. Thank you.
Thank you, Timor-Leste. Now I would like to invite Thailand, followed by Bangladesh.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On behalf of Thailand Board of Investment, I would like to thank ESCAP for its continued support to Thailand and its alignment with our strategic investment priorities. In line with our national priorities, Thailand thanks ESCAP again for the ongoing capacity building support that they have provided to BOI directly at the national level, as well as have been providing through their work with ASEAN. We further appreciate ESCAP's ongoing support to developing and implementing the ASEAN Regional Investment Promotion Action Plan. We further appreciate ESCAP's partnership with the ASEAN Secretariat and its member states to co-organize and host the ASEAN Investment Forum alongside the ASEAN Business and Investment Summit yearly. And we look forward to activity participating in the upcoming AF in Malaysia in this year. This event is a very important initiative enabling member states to showcase their, their sustainable investment opportunities. Thailand encouraged ESCAP to continue to support its member state and their investment promotion agency by providing capacity building and technical assistance on investment promotion and attraction for sustainable development, including but not limited to also developing investable project opportunities for the foreign direct investor, and also to continue to work on regional strategic for investment promotion and attraction for sustainable development, as well as enabling member states to showcase their sustainable investment opportunities at national and regional investment forums. Last but not least, I again would like to thank ESCAP, Trade, Investment and Innovation Division, for their hard work to support us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Thailand. The next speaker is Bangladesh.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Bangladesh recognizes the transformative potential of FDI to support its development priorities, particularly in areas such as green infrastructure, technology transfer, employment generation, and industrial diversification and climate resilience. As we move toward graduation from LDC by 2026, sustainable and quality investment will be key to ensuring a smooth and robust transition. Despite global challenges, several business and investment summits were organized by Bangladesh Investment Development Authority in the capital and enabled a significant amount of FDI inflow in recent times. Bangladesh attracted investors' confidence in our economic fundamentals, large domestic market, strategic location, and competitive labor market. Key sectors drawing FDI include telecommunication, energy, textiles, information technology, and infrastructure. To align FDI with our sustainable development goals, Bangladesh has taken several strategic steps. One, investment-friendly policies. The Bangladesh Investment Development Authority, BIDA, has implemented a comprehensive one-stop services platform that streamlines regulatory processes, involves ease of doing business, and enhances investors' confidence. Second, special economic zones and green industrial parks. Bangladesh is developing 100 economic zones, including environment-friendly industrial parks with fiscal and non-fiscal incentives to attract investment in renewable energy sector, circular economy, agro-processing, and high-tech manufacturing. Three, sustainable investment frameworks. The government has prioritized public-private partnership for sustainable infrastructure supported by green bonds. And four, sector-specific reforms. We are undertaking targeted reforms in energy, transport, ICT, and financial services sector to make them more attractive for foreign investors and to facilitate technology and skill transfer. Madam Chair, however, significant challenges persist in mobilizing FDI towards sustainable sectors, particularly in climate adoption, rural development, and innovation. Therefore, Bangladesh calls on ESCAP and regional partners to promote regional investment cooperation frameworks that align cross-border investment with sustainable development priorities, to support capacity building in investment promotion and project pipeline development for green sectors, and to facilitate blended finance platforms and risk-sharing instruments, and to strengthen data collection and monitoring. Madam Chair, Bangladesh remains fully committed to fostering a resilient and inclusive investment climate that supports both economic transformation and sustainability. We urge ESCAP and member states to strengthen collaboration and innovation in mobilizing quality FDI that advances the collective aspiration of the Asia-Pacific region. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Bangladesh. Any other country statements? If there are no more country statements, now I would like to open the floor to international organizations. I recognize World Bank. You have the floor.
Madam Chair, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, it is a privilege for the Secretariat of the International Center for Investment Disputes, or ICSID, to address the second session of the committee. We thank ESCAP for the invitation to join these discussions as an observer. At ICSID, we recognize the significant challenge faced in fostering trade and investments within the Asia-Pacific region, particularly regarding the promotion of foreign FDI to drive sustainable development. To recall, ICSID's mission within the World Bank Group is to foster secure international investment climates through impartial dispute resolution. This, in turn, aligns with the World Bank broader mandate to promote long-term economic development and poverty reduction. ICSID is the sole global organization devoted exclusively to resolve disputes between investors and states since 1965, mainly through arbitration proceedings initiated on the basis of free trade agreements or treaties on the protection of investments. The underlying premise is that having a dispute resolved at ICSID gives confidence to investors and states that their dispute will be resolved fairly and efficiently, and that this in turn will positively influence investment decisions. By offering an apolitical and legally binding process, ICSID aims to minimize political pressure and foster amicable investment climates. States broadly see access to dispute settlement at ICSID as part of creating a favorable investment climate in line with their investment promotion policies. We would also like to underline that ICSID provides a mechanism to settle disputes regardless of the investments. As investments in the green energy sector grow, so have the number of and proportion of arbitrations initiated by green energy investors. Investment treaties and dispute settlement can play an important role in promoting FDI in green energy, especially for transition economies. States are free to define in their investment agreements which type of investments deserve protection through dispute settlements and what type of measures may trigger state responsibility. ICSID commends the committee's work in strengthening investment incentives and facilitating partnerships between potential investors and host economies, crucial for sustainable investments. ICSID stands ready to collaborate on enhancing for enforceability and supporting ESCAP member states through capacity building and technical assistance to better anticipate investment disputes and thereby better optimize FDI contributions to sustainable development. In that sense, ICSID looks forward to identifying opportunities for regional cooperation and knowledge sharing, and is eager to contribute to future analytical and guidance efforts focused on sustainable investment promotion. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, World Bank. I recognize UNIDO. You have the floor.
Thank you. The United Industrial Development Organization is a specialized agency. Our mandate is reflected in Sustainable Development Goals 9, building resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. UNIDO's Investment and Technology Promotion Offices, ITPO, contribute to the reduction of development imbalances by brokering investment and technology agreements between developed and developing countries. The ITPO aims to bridge global investment technology gaps by opening up opportunities for investors, technology suppliers, finding potential partners for businesses in developed and developing countries, offering unique services to both entrepreneurs and business institutions. There are 10 ITPOs have been established. together with other ITP network, which are ITPO Bahrain, Beijing and Shanghai in China, Germany, Italy, Nigeria, Republic of Korea, Russian Federation, and Japan. To facilitate and unlock investment in developing countries, Indo's approach focuses on building investment intelligence capacities, empowering investment promotion institutions, including investment promotion agencies, to strategically address current and future challenges through enhanced knowledge and skills, providing investment promotion institutions with technical advisory and tools, equipping them with the necessary resources and expertise of effective investment facilitation and investment in retention support, facilitating a conducive business environment, creating an investment-friendly environment that simplifies the process for investors to establish, operate, and expand their businesses. There is a 21st session of the General Conference that will be held from 23 to 27 November this year in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. We welcome you to contact our ITP offices to promote FDIs to your countries, as well as your participation in the General Conference. Thank you.
Thank you, UNIDO. This brings us to the end of the agenda item 4. I now give the floor to the Secretariat for comments or responses to the statement that have been made, if any. No, okay. Yes, if there is. Oh, sorry. Yes, I recognize United States of. Sorry, Russian Federation. Sorry.
Madam, please do not feel abused.
Yeah. So, Russian Federation, over to you.
Спасибо, госпожа председатель. Прежде чем мы закончим рассмотрение этого пункта повестки дня, пункта повестки дня, хотелось бы, с вашего позволения, задать вопрос представителю Всемирного банка. На мой взгляд, там есть целый ряд интересных вещей, которые могут непосредственным образом влиять на развитие международного экономического сотрудничества, будь то региональное или международное. Он, в частности, упоминал случай инвестиционных споров, investment disputes. Мог бы, уважаемый представитель Всемирного банка, немножечко развить эту тему? Имеется ли статистика по данным вопросам? О каких инвестиционных спорах и в каких сферах экономики идет речь? На уровне каких арбитражных органов рассматриваются подобного рода инвестиционные споры? Если эти вопросы покажутся трудными для ответа сейчас, хотя мы хотели бы получить на них ответ, может быть, нам укажут источники, на которые следует обратить внимание, с тем, чтобы суметь выловить в огромном массиве информации, которую публикует Всемирный банк, именно то, что касается проблематики инвестиционных споров. Спасибо большое.
Thank you, Russian Federation. Now, Secretariat will respond. One more.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you very much for the comment from the distinguished delegate from the Russian Federation to the question to the World Bank. May I suggest to give the World Bank the floor to give a very quick response or brief response in the interest of time, and as per the request from the distinguished delegate from the Russian Federation, to provide a a more detailed explanation maybe after this meeting or offline as well. Thank you, Chair. Thank you to the Russian Federation for the question, and thank you to the Secretary for indicating that my response should be short. And as I mentioned, ICSID looks forward to cooperating with ESCAP on knowledge sharing, and so we would be very happy to provide information to address the questions of the Russian Federation and any other questions relating to the statements that we made a few moments ago. Maybe to foresee the possible collaboration, I would like to mention that a lot of information is available publicly on the ICSID websites, including in reports that ICSID publish semi-annually. And these reports include statistics on the types of disputes, the number of disputes, the sectors involved. And these reports, again, are available relatively easily on the website of ICSID. And you mentioned the volume of documents that the World Bank produce. These documents are specifically available on the website of ICSID, which is one of the organizations within the World Bank group. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I recognize Russian Federations.
Спасибо, госпожа председатель. Да посмотрим мы страницу Эксида, посмотрим. Мы посмотрим потом. Ну, мы сейчас задали вопрос. Представитель Всемирного банка может нам хотя бы коротко ответить, сколько случаев таких споров, в каких отраслях экономики, а не отсылать нас в интернет-паутину? А не посылать нас в интернет-паутину. Не посылать.
I briefly give the floor to World Bank to respond.
Thank you once again, and thank you once again to the Russian delegation for the follow-up. I'm happy to provide some ballpark numbers and try to address these questions, but again, it would be, I think, more precise to look at the reports that are being published by ICSID, and we can look at this website. I don't think it's appropriate to do it now, but I'm happy to go through the website with the delegations that are interested to identify the reports that I just mentioned. In terms of numbers, as of to date, ICSID has administered approximately 1,000 disputes since the 1960s, and these disputes relate to many industrial sectors, including energy, tourism, mining, and other various sectors. The disputes relate to many regions, including Southeast Asia and the Pacific. And the outcomes of these disputes are, again, available on the websites. In some disputes, investors prevail. In others, states prevail. Thank you.
Thank you, Russia, for the comments, and invite them to take it offline. This brings us to the end of the agenda item 4. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, we shall now continue with agenda item 5 on advancing the agenda on business innovations for inclusive and sustainable development. For this agenda item, the meeting will consider document ESCAP CTIBE EBI 2/6, which includes on draft decision. We shall begin with the presentation on the document by ESCAP Secretariat, followed by country statement, then adoption for the draft decision. Please be informed that in the event that agenda item 5 includes ahead of schedule, the morning session will adjourn and will resume in the afternoon with agenda item 6. To introduce this agenda item, I would like to request Ms. Martha Perez Cuso, Economic Affairs Officer of the Innovations, Enterprise and Investment sections of the Trade, Investment and Innovation divisions of ESCAP to introduce document ESCAP/CTI EBI 2/6. Over to you, Ms. Martha.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, I will introduce the note that provides an overview of how ESCAP member states have been advancing the agenda on business innovation for inclusive and sustainable development. As we heard yesterday, the Asia-Pacific region remains significantly off track to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, with progress towards most targets advancing too slowly or stagnating despite ongoing efforts. Business innovation can help achieve inclusive and sustainable development objectives, and there are multiple different ways through which the private sector generates economic opportunities for women and low-income groups and provides innovative solutions that help to address critical challenges. This note provides an update on what governments are doing under this agenda, and it focuses particularly on the promotion of social enterprises, inclusive business models, and women-led or women-owned enterprises. As market facilitators, regulators, and participants, governments can enable and incentivize companies to provide innovative solutions and generate economic opportunities for women and low-income populations. As a market facilitator, governments have adopted national strategies to promote inclusive and sustainable businesses. For example, the government of Sri Lanka adopted last year the strategy to promote inclusive and sustainable businesses to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals in Sri Lanka. Considerations of inclusivity have also been introduced into business development policies, as the examples of the government of Telangana, India, and of Fiji illustrates. In combination with those strategies, governments have been putting in place dedicated central units to organize action and creating enabling framework conditions that, beyond facilitating business operations, provide specific support to build the specific capacities required to generate positive social and environmental impact at scale. Now, as a market regulator, several governments have adopted specific legal frameworks and criteria to recognize social enterprises and to accredit inclusive businesses. For example, Vietnam adopted last year a mechanism to formally accredit inclusive business models. And why is this important? Because becoming formally recognized as a social enterprise, an inclusive business, or a women-led enterprise has enabled enterprises to gain access to a range of incentives. Governments are rewarding these businesses with national awards and with enhanced access to business support services. And some governments are also providing fiscal incentives to businesses that contribute to development objectives. Governments have also strengthened business innovation as market participants by enabling access to impact capital through grants, loans, or equity, or by funding or by sourcing from such enterprises. These are just a few examples of actions taken by ESCAP member states, and you will find further details in the note prepared by the Secretariat. Regional cooperation and South-South collaboration has proved to be critical in advancing business innovation for inclusive and sustainable development, and in scaling up the new wave of businesses putting purpose alongside profit. The Secretariat has supported ESCAP member states that are part of ASEAN to put together a plan of action for promoting inclusive business and to inform the development of a framework to recognize inclusive businesses. ESCAP has also supported regional exchanges, notably the Impact Harvest Forum, which has helped replicate efforts in promoting inclusive business across countries in the Asia-Pacific region. At the national level, the Secretariat has conducted multiple national landscape studies to inform policies aiming at promoting this type of businesses. ESCAP has also conducted research and analyses on policy options to help put women-owned enterprises on an equal footing to succeed. We are honored to have collaborated with a wide range of public and private partners across the region. Finally, the note contains a suggested draft decision for your consideration. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Ms. Perescusa, for your presentation. This concludes the introductory part of this agenda item. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, we shall now proceed to country statement for agenda item 5. I would like to urge all speakers to adhere to the time limit of 3 minutes to ensure we can hear from all those participating. I also would like to remind these delegations that in case of longer statement, you may only deliver the summary version and provide the Secretariat with the full statement for sharing through the committee website. I will call for countries who have registered to speak. After we go through the list of countries, delegation may request to speak by raising their country name plates and will be called upon to speak from their seat. Is this clear to all delegations? If so, now open the floor for country statement. The first speaker is Russian Federation. You have the floor.
Уважаемая госпожа председатель, уважаемые делегаты, пользуясь случаем, позвольте поделиться российскими подходами к рассматриваемому вопросу на национальном уровне. Инвестиции – ключевое условие перестройки и развития российской экономики в настоящее время. Главный акцент в экономической политике делается на частные инвестиции. В данном вопросе важна стабильность условий для инвесторов, инфраструктура для их проектов и доступное финансирование. Для этого действует широкий спектр инструментов. Налоговые льготы и преференции, государственная поддержка и субсидии, гарантии защиты инвестиций, упрощение административных процедур и отраслевые льготы. Кроме того, особое внимание уделяется стимулированию ESG-проектов. В частности, ускоренная амортизация для зеленого оборудования, пониженные тарифы страховых взносов и региональные льготы. Задача формирования благоприятной предпринимательской среды – инструмент обеспечения устойчивой экономической политики. Для решения такой задачи в России реализуются меры, направленные на совершенствование законодательства в части упрощения условий ведения бизнеса, сокращение административных барьеров, налогового стимулирования, а также расширение доступа к финансовым ресурсам субъектов МСП в приоритетных отраслях. Функционирует национальный проект «Эффективная и конкурентная экономика», комплекс системных мер, формирующих задел для новой модели долгосрочного экономического роста, основанной на экономике предложения, предоставляющей не только крупным компаниям, но и МСП возможности и стимулируя их к разработке инновационных решений. Для инновационных бизнес-решений важно продвижение технологий. Необходим недискриминационный подход к их использованию. Устойчивое развитие – это в том числе вопрос ответственного поведения бизнеса. Хотели бы поблагодарить секретариат за представленный доклад и отметить, что российский опыт в области устойчивого финансирования был учтен в ходе его подготовки. В частности, в прошлом году в дополнение к таксономии зеленых и переходных проектов утвердили критерии социальных. Продолжаем создавать и новые инструменты для вовлечения бизнеса в ESG-повестку. Выпущены рекомендации по раскрытию информации об устойчивом развитии компаниями. Появляется унифицированный перечень показателей, которые рекомендуется раскрывать компаниям, и методики для их расчета. Разработан стандарт раскрытия информации об устойчивом развитии. Для содействия развитию микро, малых и средних предприятий в России разработаны декларации о взаимодействии крупного бизнеса с субъектами МСП и стандарт по ее реализации. В завершение отмечаем, что определяющий прогресс в целях достижения инклюзивного и устойчивого развития в регионе факторы, в частности, меры, поощряющие инициативы частного сектора и создающие рамочные условия для инновационной деятельности предприятий и содействие достижению целей в области устойчивого развития остаются в фокусе внимания правительства. Спасибо.
Thank you, Russian Federation. Now, the next speaker is Sri Lanka, followed by Philippines.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as Sri Lanka builds back stronger from a profound economic crisis, we are harnessing the potential of the private sector to drive high-quality inclusive growth in support of achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. The government has prioritized policy and strategic interventions aimed at eliminating rural poverty, digitalization, and environmental, social, and ethical reawakening of the society. Inclusive and sustainable businesses stand out as catalysts for the country's transformation towards a resilient, sustainable, and equitable nation. They are purpose-driven enterprises that use commercially viable business models to generate positive social and environmental impact, ranging from green businesses and social enterprises to models empowering vulnerable communities. A significant milestone in this transformative journey was achieved when Sri Lanka launched a national strategy to promote inclusive and sustainable businesses to achieve the SDGs in 2024 with technical assistance of ESCAP Trade, Investment and Innovation Division. This high-level strategy is accompanied by concrete implementation measures, such as an action plan to develop inclusive and sustainable business capacities in Sri Lanka, including in green business model development, value chain integration, accessing inclusive and sustainable business credentials, impact measurement and reporting, and accessing impact investment. On behalf of the government and the people of Sri Lanka, I express our sincere appreciation for ESCAP's continued support and commitment. The technical support provided by ESCAP on conducting research and analysis, as well as stakeholder dialogues to raise awareness among key stakeholders and inform policy development, and on training officials on the design of policy instruments has been extremely valuable in the overall process of promoting inclusive and sustainable business models in Sri Lanka. I take this opportunity to also acknowledge the support extended by ESCAP to the Board of Investment of Sri Lanka in developing a FDI strategy to attract FDI in health and digital related sectors, and capacity building of staff, and encourage ESCAP to continue to support its member states in promoting and attracting FDI in these sectors for sustainable development. Sri Lanka is in continued need of support in the form of technical assistance towards improving access to finance for inclusive businesses and in establishing an inclusive business accreditation system. These efforts are essential to fostering a more equitable and resilient economy that aligns with the SDGs. We would like to request and encourage ESCAP to continue to support member states with the promotion of inclusive and sustainable businesses, in particular regarding building the capacities of businesses, adopting inclusive business accreditation systems, promoting women entrepreneurs, supporting the green transition of SMEs, and facilitating access to finance and investment, as this is the way to accelerate the contribution of the private sector to leave no one behind and support a sustainable future. Sri Lanka reaffirms its commitment to advancing inclusive and sustainable business practices and calls upon ESCAP and its partners to continue and enhance their support. We believe that through strengthened collaboration, we can empower the private sector to be a true driver of sustainable development. Let us work together to ensure that no one is left behind on our path towards a resilient and inclusive future. Thank you.
Thank you, Sri Lanka. Now I would like to invite Philippines, followed by Vietnam. Over to you, Philippines.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Philippines, through the Department of Trade and Industry, is advancing inclusive business through a national accreditation framework aligned with the ASEAN model. We are making significant strides in embedding inclusive business models within our national economic framework, aligning closely with ASEAN regional strategies. Following the ASEAN's model framework for an inclusive business accreditation system, the Philippines co-launched the ASEAN Inclusive Business Awards with the Asian Development Bank and the ASEAN Business Advisory Council in 2024. The Department of Trade and Industry is piloting this initiative in key sectors such as agribusiness, ecotourism, and handicrafts. Furthermore, the DTI's One Town, One Product, or OTOP program, and Shared Service Facilities, or SSF, supports social enterprises and women-led businesses across the country. In 2023, the OTOP program beneficiaries were featured in the Philippines National Arts and Crafts Fair with over 200 indigenous and women MSMEs exhibitors. DTI's SSF network similarly prioritizes job creation for disadvantaged groups and promotes environmentally sustainable practices. Complementing these initiatives, the Great Women 2 program and associated financial platforms have provided 1.6 billion pesos in loans and comprehensive advisory services to around 6,500 women-owned MSMEs, facilitating their integration into larger commercial value chains. We are also supporting the green transition of MSMEs. The Department of Trade and Industry is developing a green economic development roadmap with ESG guidelines for key sectors and adapting Malaysia's SME ESG scorecard for Philippine MSMEs. We therefore welcome ESCAP's continued support in scaling ESG adoption, inclusive business tools, and regional knowledge sharing for MSMEs to promote business innovation for inclusive and sustainable development. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Philippines. Now I would like to invite Vietnam, followed by Malaysia.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Excellency, distinguished delegations. Vietnam is very happy to participate in this very meaningful session. Inclusive business plays a vital role in promoting sustainable and equitable economic growth by integrating low-income communities in value chains as suppliers, distributors, or consumers in a commercially viable and impactful manner. In Vietnam, fostering inclusive business is considered a key strategy to narrow development gaps, especially in rural and disadvantaged areas and vulnerable groups. With technical support from ESCAP, Vietnam conducted the IB landscape study in 2019. The findings from this study serve a critical foundation for the government to develop and issue the national program on sustainable business development, which includes support inclusive business under a Prime Minister decisions in early 2022. And in collaboration with ESCAP, Vietnam also developed a set of tools to assess and identify the inclusive business and piloted the inclusive business accreditation system in both northern and southern regions of the country. These efforts have contributed to shaping the IB ecosystem in Vietnam with a strong focus on capacity building for business associations and intermediary organizations. These actors have played a key role in identifying, evaluating, and promoting inclusive business within the ecosystem. One notable achievement of the establishment of the Inclusive Business Hub at the Foreign Trade University in partnership with FIST, developed as a public-private partnership PPP model. This hub serves as a platform to promote innovation, share knowledge, and strengthen support for businesses adopting the inclusive business models. Going forward, we look forward to continue a fruitful collaboration with ESCAP and other member states in the following areas. First, strengthening the capacity of the government agency, intermediary organization, and enterprises in identifying and develop inclusive business model. The second, scaling up and institutionalizing the inclusive business accreditation system nationwide. And third, enhancing regional and international connections to exchange experiences and foster inclusive business collaboration. We would like to take this opportunity to express our sincere thanks to ESCAP for the valuable technical support in shaping IB enabling ecosystem in Vietnam and in the region. The policy advisory provided by ESCAP to inform the development of inclusive business accreditation system in Vietnam and the technical support provided by ESCAP to coach businesses and business organizations seeking to grow inclusive business model has extremely valuable in the overall process of promoting inclusive businesses. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Vietnam. The next speaker is Malaysia, followed by Cambodia.
All right. Thank you, Madam Chair, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Malaysia reaffirms its commitment to inclusive and sustainable economic development by promoting inclusive business as one of the key strategies for reducing poverty, empowering underserved communities, and fostering shared prosperity. The IB model provides an innovative approach to economic development by leveraging market-based solutions to address social challenges. The Government of Malaysia recognizes the value of IB in complementing public and private sector efforts to create an economy that leaves no one behind. In line with the existing 12 Malaysia Plan and the SDGs, Malaysia is committed to strengthening the ecosystem for inclusive business through access to finance, capacity building, and public-private people partnerships. Moreover, mainstreaming IB into national development frameworks will provide clear criteria for identifying and certifying inclusive businesses in Malaysia. Malaysia has also strengthened its agency SMEcorp to function as the implementation agency for inclusive business, executing programs such as the Inclusive Business Value Chain Development Initiative or IBVCDI. To support training and mentorship, Malaysia, in collaboration with the UN ESCAP, is developing the Capacity Building and Talent Development Framework for Inclusive Business in ASEAN. The objective of this guideline is mainly to serve as a model for ASEAN member states to use as a reference when supporting capacity building and talent development for inclusive business. Malaysia acknowledges the importance of multi-stakeholder collaboration. Malaysia will work closely with UN ESCAP to align with global best practices. The technical support provided by ESCAP to Malaysia and more broadly ASEAN, including the landscape study of IB in Malaysia and capacity building and talent development framework for inclusive business in ASEAN, has been extremely valuable in promoting inclusive business. Malaysia would like to request and encourage ESCAP and other international partners to continue supporting member states with the promotion of IB through the development of an inclusive business policy at national levels, building inclusive business capacity, adopting inclusive business accreditation system, and facilitating access to finance. We believe that this will accelerate the private sector contribution in solving social issues and leaving no one behind. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Malaysia. The next speaker is Cambodia, followed by India.
Distinguished Chair, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Cambodia recognizes business innovation through the framework of the National Innovation System outlined in the Cambodia's STI Roadmap 2030 as the key engine for inclusive and sustainable development. We are committed to building a supportive environment where innovation boosts productivity, enhances competitiveness, and facilitates our transition toward a digital and environmentally sustainable economy. Our national efforts focus on empowering industries and micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, encouraging digital entrepreneurship, and promoting innovation within the private sector. With strong support from ESCAP, Cambodia has developed its Science, Technology, and Innovation STI Roadmap 2030, which set a clear priorities and actions to strengthen our innovation ecosystem. ESCAP has also supported the development of key strategy roadmaps, the National Research Agenda 2025, and the drafting of the National Artificial Intelligence AI Direction for Cambodia. These initiatives are helping us improve institutional capacity, modernize regulations, and prepare for the use of advanced technologies, especially AI, in a responsible and inclusive way. Cambodia believes that regional partnerships, knowledge sharing, and technical cooperation are essential for advancing innovation across Asia and the Pacific. We remain committed to working closely with our partners to achieve our common goal of sustainable and inclusive growth in line with the Sustainable Development Goals. Thank you.
Thank you, Cambodia. Now I would like to invite India, followed by Indonesia.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Excellencies and distinguished delegates, India's growth story is intricately linked with its ability to foster inclusive development, ensuring that the benefits of progress reach all segments of society. Business innovation plays a pivotal role in this endeavor, driving economic growth while addressing social and environmental challenges. By leveraging technology, creativity, and strategic partnership, businesses can create scalable solutions that promote inclusivity and sustainability. The UPI Unified Payment Interface has revolutionized financial inclusion, enabling millions of previously unbanked individuals to access banking services seamlessly. To foster the innovation, since childhood, India has launched initiative Atal Innovation Mission. Atal Innovation Mission is the Government of India's flagship initiative to promote a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship in the country. Some of the schemes for women are Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission for poverty reduction through building a strong institution, women working hostels and creches for skilling 2 million young women over 5 years. Further, under the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, 300 million loans have been provided to women entrepreneurs, enabling them to launch and scale their businesses. More than 70% of houses under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana have been allocated to women, ensuring they have ownership and security over essential assets. In June 2024, after sanctioning 14 million since the scheme inception, 14 million houses have been sanctioned since its inception. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, India. Now the next speaker is Indonesia, followed by Laos, PDR.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Distinguished ESCAP member delegates, Indonesia welcomes the focus of this session. We believe digital trade enables micro, small, and medium enterprises, particularly those led by women and marginalized groups, to compete on a global scale. To foster innovation in the business sector, Indonesia recognizes the importance of international cooperation and collaboration in the following areas: promoting inclusive and sustainable industrialization, expanding market access for small-scale industries in developing countries, supporting the adoption of affordable and environmentally sound technologies, strengthening technological capabilities and innovation in developing countries, ensuring a conducive policy environment for research and innovation, and enhancing universal access to information and communication technology. Indonesia also emphasizes the importance of identifying potential sectors to foster inclusive business growth, particularly in agriculture, fisheries, and tourism, while advancing inclusive business models. Our National Medium-Term Development Plan, RPGM, and 2025 to 2029 emphasizes continued infrastructure development, the creation of quality employment opportunities, support for entrepreneurship, and the advancement of creative and agro-maritime industries, particularly by strengthening the role of cooperatives in production centers. Indonesia supports the draft decisions and encourages the continued role of the ESCAP Secretariat in advancing business innovation for inclusive and sustainable development. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Indonesia. Now the next speaker is Lao PDR, followed by Bangladesh.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Excellencies, distinguished delegates. The government of Laos PDR has enacted the strategy and action plan on the poverty elimination by promoting the development of the macroeconomy as to distribute the development more equally to various groups of people. The government has leveraged multi-tools and methods, including providing financial support, capacity buildings, and technical assistance. Various stakeholders have been involved in the implementation of the strategy and action plan, including the Line Ministry, government agencies, private sector, development partners, and other international organizations. The introduction of the inclusive business has been firstly acknowledged by the ASEAN leader in 2017. Thereafter, the Lao PDR acknowledged the importance of inclusive business, particularly on contribution to the poverty elimination. Lao PDR aimed at leveraging inclusive business model as one of the significant tools in poverty eliminations and providing inclusively economic development. Therefore, the government stipulated the introduction of inclusive business promotion under the Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise Development Plan 21-25. The MSME Promotion Agency under the Ministry of Industry and Commerce of the Lao PDR, as the inclusive business focal point, has applied the knowledge and lessons learned from the region for the promotion of inclusive business in our country. The government of Lao PDR is currently drafting the 10th National Socio-Economic Development Plan 26-2030 by focusing on several key areas. The Ministry of Industry and Commerce proposed the stipulation on promoting inclusive business in the plan, as well as several concrete action plan in the new MSME Development Plan 26-2030 to ensure the stability of the economic development and inclusiveness, including human resource development, digital transformation, access to finance, cooperation between the large enterprises and MSME. The milestone on inclusive business promotion in Lao PDR have been achieved with a strong support from the ESCAP. To this, Lao PDR would like to express its gratitude to the ESCAP to support inclusive business promotion with the financial assistance from the government of China on conducting the National Inclusive Business Landscape Study in the Lao PDR. The report helps us identifying business models that are already creating values for low-income groups and also promoting the adoption of the inclusive business model among the existing businesses. The government of Lao PDR acknowledged the support provided to the successfully hosting the 7th Inclusive Business Forum during the ASEAN Chairmanship of the Lao PDR in 2024, as well as to develop the model framework for inclusive business accreditation in ASEAN, which has been endorsed by the ASEAN Economic Minister. On behalf of the government of Lao PDR, we would like to request and encourage ESCAP to continue its support to member states on inclusive business promotion, particularly regarding building the capacity for the government agencies, businesses, and stakeholders, as well as adopting inclusive business accreditation system and facilitating access to finance as to accelerate inclusive business model and contribution of the private sector to leave no one behind. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Lao PDR. The next speaker is Bangladesh.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As a rapidly developing economy, Bangladesh has placed innovation at the heart of its national development agenda by involving private and government sectors. We are committed to transiting from a labor-intensive economy to a knowledge and innovation-driven economy. Madam Chair, we commend ESCAP for promoting regional cooperation in this vital area and recognize the importance of strengthening innovation ecosystem that empower people, accelerate economic transformation, and address the challenges of our time. Madam Chair, our government has made strategic investment and policy reforms to foster a vibrant innovation ecosystem. Number one, startup and entrepreneurial support. Through this program, like Startup Bangladesh Limited and the IDA project, our government is funding early stage ventures focused on health technology, agricultural technology, fintech, and climate solution. Over 300 startups companies have been received direct support and creating thousands of jobs and fostering inclusive digital services. Second, digital infrastructure and access. Our government has taken some initiative to set up some digital infrastructure like technology park and something like this. And Bangladesh is rapidly growing ICT sector, and nationwide 4G coverage have enabled millions of citizens to engage in e-commerce, mobile financial services, and online learning. The private sector has been instrumental in launching inclusive platform which has expanded financial access to over 70 million users. Third, skill development program. The government is investing in innovation hubs, technology parks, and skill development programs to equip our youth, women, and rural entrepreneurs with digital and entrepreneurial competencies. Fourth, inclusive green innovation. We are experiencing the emergence of socially and environmentally conscious business models, including solar-powered irrigation, sustainable packaging, and plastic recycling, and green factories ventures, which are many of them are led by women and youth. And government is supporting, giving the financial and non-financial support to these sectors. Yet challenges remain in scaling up innovation in rural areas, ensuring equitable access to digital technologies, and connecting local innovators to global market and financing. Madam Chair, in conclusion, Bangladesh remains committed to advancing business innovation that leaves no one behind. We believe that through regional solidarity, investment in people, and smart partnerships, we can unlock transformative innovation for our inclusive and sustainable Asia Pacific. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Bangladesh. Is there any other country statement? We don't have time to international organizations. If there is no more country statement, we will move on to the draft decision. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, I see no more requests for the floor. I would like to thank you all for these informative statements. At this juncture, I would invite delegates to consider the comment on the proposed draft decision as contained in document ESCAP/CTIEBI2/6, which read as follows. The Committee on Trade, Investment, Enterprise and Business Innovations notes the progress made on promoting enterprise and business innovations for inclusive and sustainable development, and requests the Secretariat to continue to support members and associate members upon their request. Would any delegation wish to intervene specifically on the text proposed? I recognize Russian Federation.
Спасибо, госпожа председатель. Хотел бы привлечь внимание ко второй строчке. После слов notes мы предлагаем добавить следующую фразу. Challenges in promoting non-discriminatory use of technologies and. I repeat it again, actually, for the sake of the Secretariat. I do hope they are taking notes. I read it again. Challenges in promoting non-discriminatory use of technologies, and thank you.
Thank you, Russian Federations. I recognize the delegation of Japan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We'd like to request for the insertion of the usual caveat at the end of the paragraph within existing mandate and resources. Thank you.
Any other intervene? I recognize United States of America.
Thank you, Chair. Just to note, I don't actually have final instructions on this, and with the addition, we'll have to come back tomorrow, as I imagine some others will as well. I wondered if I could beg of my Russian colleague to just provide a short justification for the insertion that I can convey back to Capitol. Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished delegates of United States of America, for your intervention. Is the proposed text as amended acceptable for all delegations? I recognize delegates from Japan.
Well, maybe perhaps the Russian delegation might want to respond to the U.S., but I also have a related intervention on this point that I will not have answers on clearing or authorization to clear on this new language. But here is just my immediate knee-jerk reaction that I wanted to share, is that we're kind of cherry-picking the one specific challenge, and this is a broad focus on trade issues, and I think, trade, investment, enterprise, and business innovation issues. And so, we heard a lot about sustainability and all these other issues. So hence, I'm a little bit hesitant on clearing, especially right now, without further guidance on cherry-picking this specific point. So with that, I think maybe the Russian delegation can respond to other questions.
Is Russian Federation wants to respond for the intervene of US?
Спасибо, госпожа председатель. Наше пояснение будет очень коротким. Наше пояснение будет очень коротким. Наше добавление говорит только то, что оно говорит. И я в определенной степени соглашусь с уважаемой коллегой из делегации Японии о том, что это может быть kind of cherry picking. Но мы не будем возражать, если дополнительные вишни появятся на этом дереве. Вы знаете, уважаемые коллеги, вот проекты решения, которые мы сейчас видим на экране, это типичный пример решения ни о чем. Вот все красиво, все white and fluffy. Где субстанция? Progress made on promoting enterprise and business innovations, blah, 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 blah. Это ни о чем. Мы абсолютно очевидно наблюдаем огромную проблему в области передачи и использования технологий. Когда я говорю «мы», я имею в виду все международное сообщество. Вопрос передачи технологии, который был поставлен еще в 1992 году на конференции ООН по окружающей среде и развитию, он не решен до сих пор. Сколько бы ни говорилось о задачах передачи технологий и их недискриминационном использовании. Последние годы наблюдается всплеск дискриминационных подходов к использованию технологий. И, уважаемые коллеги, я не специалист по информационно-коммуникационным технологиям. Я не экономист, я дипломат. Но все те международные процессы, в которых я участвовал последние 35 лет, они вновь и вновь упираются в качестве одного из важнейших элементов обеспечения устойчивого развития в проблематику доступа к технологиям и их использования. В выступлении нашей делегации мы отметили этот фактор. Мы отметили этот фактор. И мы считаем, что, по крайней мере, хоть какая-то польза от того решения, которое мы видим на экране, будет в том, чтобы отметить проблему. Поэтому наша формулировка, собственно говоря, и предложена в таком общем виде. Notes challenges in promoting non-discriminatory use of technologies. Full stop. Спасибо.
Thank you, distinguished delegates of Russian Federation, for your interventions. I recognize the delegations of Japan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Noting the probably the importance for all of us to reach a consensus agreement on a decision if we are to have a self-evident content decision. Perhaps maybe we can have a huddle session, because I think the challenges, I can tell you, technology transfer is such a sensitive topic that I don't think we will have enough time for clearance on this issue in any case. We do have bodies like the WIPO that deals with these issues, but perhaps maybe one of the palatable ways going forward, in light of the fact that challenges, many challenges exist in the eyes of each separate delegates, and we all have our different national contexts, but maybe we can note the challenges cited in the report. Maybe we can cite a report. Maybe we can cite something in the TOR of the Committee on Trade, or some mutually acceptable, agreeable language to take home. This is one suggestion, but perhaps maybe we can also work on language in a huddle again. Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished delegates of Japan, for your intervention. Are there any more interactions? If there is no more interactions, matter related to technology transfer will be discussed during the next agenda. Yeah, technology transfer of this matter will be discussed next agenda. That is matter related to the next agenda. So, is there any more comments? we note that issue of the technology transfer are not discussed in the in this note. Maybe it will discuss through next agenda. I recognize the delegations of Russian Federation.
Спасибо, госпожа председатель. Мы очень хорошо знакомы с повесткой дня и с теми пунктами. Уважаемая госпожа председатель, мы очень хорошо знакомы с повесткой дня и очень хорошо знаем, какие пункты в нее включены. И мы также хорошо осведомлены. Спасибо, госпожа председатель. Я подожду, пока вы поговорите с секретариатом, а потом послушайте то, что говорит делегация. Я хотел бы подчеркнуть, что мы считаем неприемлемым, когда избранные должностные лица не уделяют должного внимания тому, что говорят делегации. Я бы попросил не отвлекаться тогда, когда говорит делегация. Если секретариат хочет дать какие-то подсказки, избранному должностному лицу, он это может сделать. Но только после того, как представитель официальной делегации закончит свое выступление. Спасибо. Я надеюсь, вы это учтете. Так вот, мы прекрасно осведомлены о повестке дня, о тех пунктах, которые включены в повестку дня, и о тех проектах решений, которые предлагаются по этим пунктам повестки дня. До настоящего момента мы не видели в пункте 6 никаких предлагаемых специальных решений. Поэтому, собственно говоря, наше предложение мы сделали в рамках пункта повестки дня 5. Мы прекрасно понимаем, что это может быть комбинированное решение для двух пунктов повестки дня 5 и 6. Спасибо.
Thank you, distinguished delegates of Russian Federation, for your interventions. Is Russian Federation's now we clear the test within existing mandate and resources proposed by Chapman. If there is no any proposed, can we clear this? Yes, I recognize Sri Lanka.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd just like to share my comments on the caveat proposed by Japan with regard to existing mandates and resources. I would like to urge the Secretariat to retain the flexibility to mobilize additional resources if the member states require for assistance. Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished delegates of Sri Lanka, for your intervention. I recognize the delegates of Japan.
So to address the issues raised by Sri Lanka, perhaps in front of resources, we can put available resources because that would, I think, capture that meaning.
Thank you, distinguished delegates of Japan, for your intervention. Is the proposed text as amended acceptable to all delegations? Is delegation have other comments on Russian's proposal? I recognize delegation of Japan.
So perhaps maybe over lunch, we can go over this with some interested parties on the text. But here's one point that I want to make on this issue is that the technology ownership resides with the companies, not with the states. So herein lie some of the technical issues with regard to cherry picking this, that, is this really the thing to be highlighted here? And of course, we are not WIPO. But maybe we can work on some of this offline and come back on this.
Thank you, distinguished delegates of Japan, for your interventions. Are there any? Yes, I recognize United States of America.
Thanks, and perhaps we can discuss this over at lunch or during the lunch hour as well. But I mean, I have concerns with this language for a couple of reasons. One, as I look at the mandate of the Committee on Trade, Investment, Enterprise, and Business Innovation, point D is on the development, transfer, adaptation, and application of technologies relevant to the region. It doesn't mention the non-discriminatory component, so I'd be curious if there's a reference to that therein. Second, the way we've phrased this, it's been phrased, is notes the challenges in promoting, and so who is promoting the non-discriminatory use of technologies? It's not the mandate of this committee, so who is facing those challenges? So interested to continue discussion on this, but have concerns if sending it back to Capitol as is. Thank you.
Any more comments from the delegations? May I suggest delegations to take these discussions offline and we can revisit? Thank you, distinguished delegates, for constructive cooperations. I would request the Secretariat to include the text of these draft decisions in the draft report to be considered on Friday during the adoptions of the report. Thank you. This brings us to the end of I recognize United Kingdom. Over to you.
Thank you, Chair. Apologies, I know we all want to get to lunch, but a slight thought as a result of the point made by the US. Perhaps an alternative is to actually include that text. So the Committee on Trade, Investment, Enterprise and Business Innovation notes the challenges around the development, transfer, adaptation and application of technologies and the progress made. So we'd have the text taken from the particular resolution around the committee as an alternative to singling out the promotion of non-discriminatory use of technologies. Should I recite that again? Yes. Just heavy nods. Okay, so after challenges in, you'd put the phrase development, comma, transfer, adaptation, and application of technologies. Well, actually, you don't need the of technologies because then it would continue to of technologies and the progress made, which is already there on the screen. So yes, you could put of technologies and then that would be the alternative. Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished delegates of United Kingdom, for your intervention. Is there any other proposal for this intervene? I recognize Russian Federation.
Thanks, Madam Chair. With your indulgence, I would like maybe to request the Secretariat to take full note of what our distinguished colleague from the UK said as a proposal that might be a good actually starting point in my humble view for this hurdle during lunchtime. Not omitting the last word around transfer of technologies. I might explain actually to the interested colleagues during this quick, I hope, very quick huddle before lunch. Thank you. I mean that, correct me if I'm wrong, the proposal was actually challenges in development, transfer, adaptation, and application of technologies. And if the delegation of UK does not mind, if you could please insert that. The third line, the challenges in development, transfer, adaptation, and application of technology. Yeah, correct, and that might be the building block for possible palatable, caveats. Thank you.
Any more comments on this proposal? I recognize Indonesia.
Yes, thank you, Chair. A bit hesitant to actually intervene at this moment, but actually, I think for Indonesia, even though we do within our intervention before our national statement for this particular agenda, we do highlight a bit of challenges in terms of adaptation and application of technologies, but there are others challenges in terms of how promote sustainable development and promoting enterprises and business innovation to support sustainable development as well, including issues such as like expanding the small businesses on those and those kind of issues. In this regard, I think for Indonesia, we probably would like to make this language a little bit general. If I may suggest that perhaps the wording perhaps may also highlight the progress first. So the language will be like the Committee of Trade and Investment, Enterprise and Business Innovation notes the progress and challenges made on promoting enterprises and business innovation for inclusive and sustainable development, including including development, transfer, adaptation, and application of technologies. This is just to make it a little bit more general, and perhaps we can also note that there are other challenges, as also mentioned by our delegation, and within this intervention for this session as well.
Thank you, distinguished delegates of Indonesia, for your intervention. Any more comments on? Yes, I recognize Russian Federation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just taking the risk of, delaying the launch time, maybe a quick response to the comment made by our distinguished colleague from Indonesia. Honestly, first thing, we have to say that we do not observe any progress in terms of promoting enterprise and business innovation. Let's face it. That's why I said, actually, in the very beginning, at the outside of our brief intervention, that let's not create UNish decisions. Everything good, and we will be fighting for good even stronger and more decisively. Let's not shy away from real, actually, things. So, number one, we do not see actually notable progress in promoting enterprise and business innovation. Number two, we believe that we could actually find a possible solution, building upon it, as underscored what I at least see initially as a helpful building block from UK. But for the second part of this text, we wanted actually to suggest slight rewording. And we will be ready actually to note the progress made by the Secretariat in promoting enterprise. So that's something that we will be ready actually to note. I simply wanted that to make it clear before we adjourn for the lunch, taking into account actually the comment made by our distinguished colleague from Indonesia, by the way, very pertinent and relevant. As I say, that indeed, actually, we have many, many cherries on the trees of challenges. But to be pragmatic and in a way to find a possible solution for this specific decision, which seemed actually very general and about nothing. So we would like to add the zest to this decision. But for the caveat of this decision, we are only ready to note progress made by the Secretariat. Progress made by the Secretariat in promoting actually native speakers. You're welcome to help me out. Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished delegates of Russian Federation, for your intervention. Are there any more comments on this proposal? May I suggest delegations to take these discussions offline and we can revisit after lunch? But before lunch, can we clear the test on mandates? Is there any comments on this last part within existing mandate and available resources proposed by Japan? Can I assume this test to be cleared? Yes, if there is no any other comments. So, thank you, distinguished delegates, for constructive cooperations. I would request the Secretariat to include the rest of these draft decisions in the draft report to be discussed on Friday during the adoptions of the report. Thank you. Sorry, small amendment this afternoon. So that the draft report to be cleared on this afternoon during the adoptions of the report. This brings us to the end of the proceeding of this morning sessions. We will resume the proceeding at 14 hours with agenda item 6. Thank you very much. Thank you.